Seems like that light gets brighter every time. Hi, Coolio, No Name, Chris, and BMC. Hello. I know I'm missing some people, so just bear with me. Trying to get everything to catch up with me here. That ain't gonna happen. Hello, hello. Boom. Alright, let's see. Activate. Yes, Shan. It is. Thursdays are going to be replacing my Friday. Oh. Is there an echo? There shouldn't be. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Hi, Christina. There we go. Now that should pull up too. All right. Okay. Open that up. Okay. How is everyone doing overall? Hey, Corey. Hey, Corey. Made sure to have my water today. That way we don't have yesterday happening again. That's not what was supposed to happen. Yes, Bishop. Normal conversations, I guess. Yeah, this is what it's supposed to do. Okay, cool. Hopefully yesterday didn't mess up everything too much or whatever it's gonna do. I don't know. Hi, Ivan. Yeah, I don't know. Someone just said echo with multiple O's, so I was a little confused. Yes, so the schedule is changing, so Fridays will be the new day off. Hi everyone, thanks for the heart me's. Hi Ash. So yes, Thursdays will be on, Fridays will be off. I have to update all of that, but see if you guys had Discord, you would know. But it's okay, I understand. I'm trying to make sure. Oh wow, that was all the way up. I don't need that all the way up. This goes down to here as per usual. There we go. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I put it in my announcements on in my server that this was going to be the new schedule on Sunday for the day. But it's going to officially change in the bio on all platforms after this weekend. I'm going to update everything. Okay. Now there would be. Yikes. Okay, hey racers. Are you talking about, I think I saw you posting it. I just hadn't, like, looked at it yet because capitalism. I didn't have as much free time today. I had to get around to poking at things everywhere. Work be working. That's what we were doing today, guys. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, according to everyone, I don't have a job, so never mind. No, none of the animals are with me right now. Oh, thanks, Calcifer. And hey, Bill. All right. Oh, that's quick. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
43.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Cool. What year were you born?
1972.
1972. Do you even try to do math? I'm not the only one that heard that, right? I'm just making sure. Hey, Crystal. It's just like, I want to be sure. I am not the only one that heard that, right? Oh, did he say 40? No, it sounded to me like he said 23. And his voice sounded young, too. Am I just mean? Oh, dang. Call back. Apparently. Is that correct? Yeah, that would be right. No, that would not be 43, though. 1972 wouldn't be 43. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Aslan. Correct. That's why I was like, hold on, that's not right. I heard 1972, and I'm like, whatever number you said, that's not right, because that would be 53. I don't know, man. I'm just here, you know? Yeah, exactly, Christina. But that wasn't it. Yeah. Yep. Yep, Amelie, that is correct. I'm like, that's not right. Hey, headphones. Yeah, quick math is not many people's strong suits. Let's be for real here, okay? That's not easy for a lot of people to do. It's like, even I was like, I had to think about it, and I'm like, it doesn't sound right. Whatever you said does not sound correct. So, I'm just not gonna. Most of them are already back in school, as far as I'm aware. Not all, but most of them, as far as I'm aware, are back in school. Can't even do slow math. I do some math. You know what I mean? Let's see. I want to copy that. Pop it up in here. What company though is what I wanted to see? And oh, electronics manufacturer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same person. Yellow.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why'd you lie?
I didn't. I said I'm 53.
Everybody heard 43.
No, you said 23. I said 53. I was born in 1972. I'm sorry my voice sounds like this.
Oh no, it's just everybody in the chat said they heard 43. That makes sense if you are 53. Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, I did.
What's your main reason why?
I'll say the biggest reason is freedom of speech. And when I think about freedom of speech, I think about the fact that freedom of speech is not for the speech that you agree with. It's actually for the speech that you don't agree with. And when we allow people to cancel people and shut people down and muzzle the people that are speaking because their words don't agree with what we agree with, that's not American.
Oh, is that why Congress passed laws against hate speech?
Well, hate speech, that's different. That's different. I think we're just living in a climate where we can't, it's hard to hear other sides of the argument because we get so emotional, myself included. I have a position, and I've trained myself to listen to people that's on the other side. Like, I don't listen to any media. I don't listen to any conservative media. The only media I listen to is liberal media because I like hearing. I want to be able to know what the other side is thinking because I don't think, honestly, I don't think liberals are evil people. I just think we have a disagreement about a lot of issues. But that doesn't mean we should shut each other down when we're saying things that we don't agree with. And I think that happens a lot on both sides, to be honest with you.
Okay, so let's try this for a second. What are the first 5 words of the First Amendment?
First 5 words, I don't know. Tell me.
Congress shall make no law. So specifically, in the way that it's been interpreted and by the Supreme Court, is that it's been extended to all branches of federal government. Basically, it's saying that the federal government cannot infringe upon your freedom of speech except for what they consider to be hate speech and things of that effect. So when you're talking about a conversation between two individuals and however they choose to take your words one way or another, that's not an infringement upon your freedom of speech because individuals are not the government or nor are they representing a governing body if they're acting of themselves unless they're actively trying to make laws against you.
Hurt or harm. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
I
I
would
agree. But
actually
just
say
in the
that Donald Trump is probably the president that's done the most against the First Amendment rights within the country, especially considering how he's infringing upon people's right to peaceful protest, for one, their right of freedom of speech, for two. Like, they literally revoke somebody's visas based off of an op ed that was written. Where somebody was just calling what was occurring in Gaza a genocide, and because the government didn't agree with it, and they found out that she was a student visa holder, they revoked her student visa over an op-ed that hurt
Was she an
nobody.
American citizen?
She was a visa holder. Again, it was opinion editorial.
Was she an American citizen?
That's an infringement upon not only the freedom of press but also the freedom of speech, sir.
Yeah. No,
Are you aware that the Constitution says all persons? It doesn't say, for especially for the First Amendment, it doesn't just say the citizens are protected. Hey, Josiah. It says all
so was she
persons. So she's
was her
covered under freedom of speech under the First Amendment and the freedom of press under the
was,
First Amendment of the United States Constitution.
was her visa? Did she have a valid visa or was it
Yeah,
expired?
it was not expired.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that. But when you talk about peaceful protests, now you and I both agree that a peaceful protest, there's a range. We can, when they're on our side, we'll call them peaceful. When they're on the other side, we say they're not peaceful and they're being, they're terrorizing. So there's ways in which when people are on our side, we tend to bend in their direction in terms of our objectivity or subjectivity of whatever they're doing because they're on our side, almost like teams. That's my team, so I'm going to kind of lean more in their direction and give them the benefit of the doubt. Whereas when it's the other team, we don't give them the same grace. So,
No, I just call it peaceful when there's when in the specific groups of individuals there's no actual act of violence occurring, right? That's peaceful.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm so when they
Like,
were quote unquote peacefully
thank you,
protesting
unbelievable.
in, let's say, Los Angeles, and
There
they
were
were
groups that were
terrorizing.
peacefully protesting. There were others that were resorting to violence.
Okay. And so does Donald Trump then have reason to bring in uh,
Nope.
peace ma- enforcement
No,
if
sir.
it's not?
If it's not it's
Oh, really?
specifically activating the National Guard when the law is very clear, and that's why it's still
So,
under review in the judicial process, right? Um, that if it's not requested by the governor, because the state National Guard only
hmm
responds to the
hmm
governors, right?
hmm
So in that, congrats to JC on the level up. In that specific instance, absolutely not. That's covered. Like that is up to the governor to request the National Guard. The
I,
president.
I think you're. I don't. Okay, I think you're like giving like partial, but I'll take your word for it because you study this stuff more than I do. But what about in D.C.?
No,
Can he use the
DC is
National Guard in
separate.
D.C.?
Even then, he did
Okay, so let's
overstep
talk
to a
about D.C.
degree.
then.
Even then, he overstepped to a degree, which is why,
How so?
if you would let me finish. Awesome. So when he was trying to specifically like federalize or take over the DC police force, the mayor
hmm
actually sued, like went through the judicial process to sue, and they went in front of a judge, and the judge said, mediate this outside of court, or I'm ruling in DC's favor.
Okay.
So they did. He's
Do
like,
you,
okay, you can retain authority over your police force. And as far as him activating the National Guard, there are very specific stipulations within there. He did use the wrong article or the wrong code within it, which is why it's also still being put under question based upon people suing.
and yeah, and so I think that's we're talking semantics now, but in terms of what he's trying to
No, that
accomplish
would be
in
legalese.
D.C.,
It's not semantics.
yeah, I get it. But when you have people dying, like we talked about the number of murders in D.C., and the first thing people say is the crime rate is down. Okay, so how many murders has D.C. had this year? You know,
Sure,
you
I
could
can
probably
pull
Google
it
it. It's,
back up. Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
yeah,
DC
but it's
crime.
down because last year this time they had 121, but this year there's 100. So yes, it's down, but there's still
I don't.
100
I
murders.
still think you're wrong. Let's see.
Okay, go ahead and pull
Pulling
that
up
up.
2025, updated as of at 12 a.m. this morning. Um, you were a little off. So in 2024 it was 115, but it's as of this time that year. So you're still wrong.
hmm
So at the end of
So how many this year?
2024, they had 187. At this time last year in 2024, they had 115. So far in 2025, it's 101, which is still a 12% decrease, which shows an overall percentage of decrease in crime.
Okay, so you hear yourself? So
It still
we don't want Trump to
shows.
do anything because it's yes, but it's 100. I said it. You said I
So
was wrong.
okay,
It's a hundred,
if that's the
a
case,
hundred murders.
If in Memphis, Tennessee, there's already been 200. Let's just say there's been 200 murders. Does
I'm
that
talking
mean
about
that
D.C.
I'm giving you a counterpoint example? So does that mean that the state governor should be able to activate the National Guard in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, because there's been 200 murders, which is just 12 shy of where it was last year?
See that's the difference. It's like you're really standing on the fact that there are less murders this time of the year
No,
or
it's
up to this
overall
point,
violent crime is
and it's
down by 35% compared to this time last year. That is the
what.
point. The facts are the facts. These numbers aren't
So does that
lying to
mean we
me.
should do?
You
I
specifically
understand the numbers.
are obfuscating the truth,
No,
right?
no, 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 no.
I'm
No.
giving
I
you an
just said.
example. You
Hold
just
on one
don't
second.
like
Let
that
me
it's
speak.
pushing back against your logic and
No.
saying that by using your own logic, therefore if any city has an uptick in crime, that the governor should be able to activate their own state national guard in order to fight crime within a big city. So why haven't we ever seen that occur across the country anywhere?
You're missing the point
No, I'm not.
totally.
You're missing the point.
What? No. So your justification of Trump not using extra force is because there are 15 less murders than this time last year.
No, it's because overall, Violent
doesn't
crime
matter
is down
whether it's 30
35%. No, that is important. Like, regardless
Why
of
is
what
it
you
important?
think.
It doesn't matter.
Unfortunately,
People are dying in the streets.
and people are dying
why-
in other cities, sir. That's why I gave you another hypothetical example that now you're just going like, no, I can't combat that one. So
No,
let
no,
me
no,
stick on this.
I-
You're wrong.
I admit it.
So
I'm the one that-
overall,
I'm the one that-
violent crime is
Hold on.
still
Are you gonna let
down
me-
27% in DC.
And that's a great talking point. And that
It's
fits
not a
your narrative.
talking
If there is
point. It is a
it's
a
talking point
statistical
to speak
fact.
against what Donald Trump is doing.
Do you live in
I know-
DC?
I'm the one that. Listen.
Do you
I
live in
said-
DC?
Why does it matter?
Do you live in DC?
You're asking a question that has nothing to do with the argument.
Oh no.
Do I live
Do
in Egypt?
you
Maybe I'm
live
in Egypt.
in DC? Do you live in Washington DC?
You're asking a mute
Do you
point.
live
I
in
don't even
Washington
understand.
DC?
No, I don't live in Washington.
Okay,
DC.
that's about what I thought. Yeah, cuz see if you did, you would be very easy for somebody to just say, "Yeah, I do." See? See how easy that would be? But no, because you don't. You had to argue against it. You see like
No, that's
when-
what's your
when
point?
some-
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? The point I'm making is that crime is going to go down because Donald Trump is bringing the National Guard into D.C.
Oh,
to
yeah,
make-
and
to make
is
it
that
better.
why vehicular crashes are up now?
Oh, you had to find one, didn't you? So people are crashing cars.
No, it's specifically the National Guard crashed into another vehicle. They had to use the jaws of
Oh,
life to get the
boy.
civilians out of
I
their
wonder
cars.
how many police officers have died in the line of fire. Okay, what does that mean?
Oh,
Again,
see,
you
look
have to
at
find
that.
one point. So the National Guard wrecked a car. Oh wow, Donald Trump should be impeached because the National. See how ridiculous
Did I say
you
that?
sound?
No, you are the one that sounds ridiculous. I didn't even make that claim.
You just brought up the fact that the National Guard crashed a vehicle.
No, they crashed into a vehicle. They crashed into
Crashed
another
into a
vehicle.
vehicle. You
They
brought up the fact
crashed
that
into
there's-
another vehicle.
I understand that, but driving vehicles is the most dangerous thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. It's a very dangerous. It happens all the time.
Oh, so
But that
now it
doesn't- that
doesn't
doesn't-
matter. See, you see how? Okay, let's be very clear.
No,
You
no,
didn't
no,
like
no,
it
no,
when I
you-
pointed out that murders occur in another city within this country, and so therefore I was asking you. So if murders
It was
occur
an
in another city
accident.
within this country,
It
should
was
the
an
governors of that city /
Are you
state?
muting me now? Or when you're allowing me to speak? Are you allowing me to speak? Or are you blocking me out?
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Like I'm just talking over you because
I
this
wonder,
is
am
my
I allowed-
show.
'cause I know a lot of times.
Wow.
Speaking into
Okay.
the mic and
Yeah.
all the
No,
people can't
you're
hear me.
still going through loud and clear to everybody. Are you now? You're
Okay,
going
good.
to.
That's
Wow.
that's
Maybe I
unusual,
should
but
just
thank
for
you.
that
That's
because you can't handle the fact that I'm asking you a direct question
No.
that you
It
can't
was an
understand.
accident.
This is
Your point
hilarious.
was
This
that
is
the
hilarious,
National Guard had a
actually.
vehicular accident.
That wasn't my
That's your
point.
point.
I was pointing it out to you because you said that crime
what
is
is the
down,
point?
and then it's like, oh my gosh, well this.
Crime
Well, you
is
didn't like
down.
my
Crime
point,
went down
so let's
almost
try this again. My
immediately.
point again was
People
so
aren't
because there's an
dying on the
uptick in
street.
murders in another city within this whole country, should therefore the National Guard be pulled out, be activated in any city, in any state across this country if there's an uptick in crime? Yes or no?
You-
Yes or no? Yes or
whatever
no?
it takes to
Yes.
save lives.
Oh, okay. So you're just completely okay with violating the Constitution of the United States of
Whatever-
America.
I asked you, was he violating the Constitution of D.C.? You said he wasn't.
Oh, no, I said he was violating the letter
clearly
of the
it was.
law. No, I literally told you he did. He activated the incorrect
You
one,
know
which is
who
why it
aren't-
is actively
know-
being sued
Do
against.
you know who's not upset about what he's doing? The people in the inner city who aren't losing their brothers and their sisters and their nephews
Nobody's
and their
dying,
grandsons.
sir. You're being
nobody's dying.
hyperbolic.
You just said 150. You just said
You're being hyperbolic.
Listen.
You're being hyperbolic.
Those
I
people
understand I'm
a
using a
month
word
are
you don't
being
know.
Killed. You just told me 101 people. So
Crime
101
is
lives doesn't
still
matter.
down. Crime is still down. Crime is still
People are
down.
still dying.
Crime
People
is
are
still down.
Murdered. No matter what you say, 35%, 20%, 10%, 5%, it doesn't matter. People are dying in the streets. and
Okay.
Donald Trump is doing something about it.
Sure,
That's
he's
the
not.
point. That's the point.
Yeah. So you want him to go to your city and your town, right, and activate the National Guard over your state over what you want your governor wants?
Where I am, if we had 100 murders in the first 8 months of the year. 8 months of the year, yes, I would love for the, but we don't have that where I'm at. If I lived in the place where I used to live in Chicago, I would love, as an 8-year-old boy living in the city of Chicago, in the inner city, I would have loved to see the National Guard in the street protecting my neighborhood. Because of what I saw as an 8-year-old boy in the inner city of Chicago, I would have loved it. You know who else would have loved it? My mother, because then her child wouldn't have been murdered, and my auntie, because her son wouldn't have been murdered. If we had, see, this is real.
Oh, okay, so I get it. I get what it is. I get what
it
it is. Because it's something that you experienced as a kid, you're arguing from a point of emotion instead of actually obtaining any facts or any yeah, you're arguing from a place of emotion instead of arguing anything with facts. You are completely ignoring any facts. You are only coming at this from a place of emotion over a city or town that you don't even live in, ignoring the fact that St. Louis, Missouri is actually the one that has the highest homicide rate in the entire country right now, but instead he went after Washington, D.C., which was experiencing a downtick of crime, but that's not enough for you. He has to activate the National Guard because that's what makes sense to you, because all you can do is argue from a place of emotion. And sir, I don't know if you realize this or not, but I don't argue from emotion, and you hung up yourself because I was talking. People are weird, guys. I do, Bishop. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
What year were you born? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
You're a kid. Go play a game. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
Older than 35.
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi, how old are you?
23.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, I don't really agree with any politics. I just wanted to say I'm glad to see someone sticking up for what they believe in.
All right, well, thank you, man. I hope you have a good one. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
Hello.
How old are you?
32.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
What year were you born?
93.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Hello? Of course I do.
Why do you still support Trump?
Because he makes people like you cry every day.
That's odd. Oh, you hung up. Ta! Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, 35 years old.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't vote. I haven't voted since the first Obama election.
Okay. Well, have a good one, man. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How old are you?
32.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. What's your main reason why?
The changes that we've seen overall, I think validates everything that's been going on. I believe that the issue that we're having is that optics is what matters to the left, not actual results. So for me, I'm results driven. So I think seeing what we've seen, the progress that we have, I think that's what's drawn me towards him. What's ironic is that I was a Democrat, and I converted after seeing all the issues that we've had in this country in the past 4 years. And I hated Trump in his first term, like hated him, absolutely hated the man.
Sure.
But then I started to pay attention, And
Yep.
I started to actually, why do you say sure? Do you not believe that I'm being genuine in my response?
It's your choice of words with saying convert it already make it sound suspicious, sir. It's an odd choice of phrasing.
Okay, well, I decided to realize that the left left me, that the policies that they were going were too far in the Overton window, and I didn't agree with the progressive route that they were taking. So therefore, even though I would consider myself as a 90s Democrat, and I'll consider on the Overton window as a far right person. So that would, I guess convert, that's an easy thing to pick out and, malign on. But when I use the term convert, I don't mean in a religious sense. I mean in the sense of democratic choices.
Yeah, so what exactly are the changes that you've seen, and then explain exactly what Donald Trump did to make those changes occur?
I think the main one I would say would be immigration. I mean, we can see a major change in that to begin with. Deportation, we're at a net migration, negative net migration for the first time in 45 years. We were told for years that there's nothing that could be done about the border, but within 6 weeks, he made a change.
So what exactly did he do?
Also,
No, do you remember I asked you a two-part
go ahead.
question?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said,
Yeah,
what
and
are the
then
changes that
let's
you've
start.
seen, and then what exactly did he do? So this means to be very specific.
Right. So by him instituting the Alien Enemies Act, making cartel leaders and Mexican gangs as actually terrorists, it gives them more power as well to enforce the law. And I think for me, that's a big thing, is that enforcing of the law is huge. It's necessary. I'm a black man that grew up in inner city, that in New Orleans, the murder capital. When I was there, it was the murder capital. And the thing that we need was policing, and I think that that's what the world needs right now, is we need law and order. Some people may not agree with it. They may not agree with how it makes them feel, but I think it's important for us to have law and order.
We have had law and order, sir. That's a nonsensical argument to start with. Sure, the Alien Enemies Act had a supposed
letting over millions of immigrants
how many?
without verifying who they are.
How many were let over?
Without verifying who they are.
How many were let over?
And no qualifications.
How many were
we
let
don't
over?
know. We could say 10 to 12.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if we're on the low end.
And where are you basing this number off of?
We don't know how many gotaways
Where are you
there were.
basing this number off of?
Off of, I'm basing it off of the statistics that's been released. We could say that
From
it's
where?
8 to 12 million people.
From what statistics?
So you want like Pew? Who you want me to name a specific person?
Oh, so
I'm not
do you know what the
sure,
difference is between a primary, secondary, and tertiary source?
Yes, I do.
What would be, when it comes to the border, what would be an example of a primary source?
It would be the U.S. government statistics, right? Or are those not believable anymore?
No, I was talking about Customs and Border Protection, because it's actually their job to man the borders, southern and northern borders.
Right, but the rules weren't applied. Can you not agree that during the
They
Biden
were
presidency
applied.
that the rules were not enforced?
Do you
the
know
rules were not enforced?
They were enforced. Do you want to know how I know they were enforced? Is because if you actually look at
sanctuary cities, if the laws were enforced.
Sanctuary cities have nothing to do. Sanctuary cities
were enforced.
Sanctuary cities have nothing to do with the southern border, sir.
It has everything to do with immigration, which is the discussion that we were having, does it not?
Which has nothing to do with border crossings, right? So sanctuary cities have nothing to do with border crossings. The fact that sanctuary cities exist,
and the fact that the numbers
the fact that sanctuary cities exist are not a direct effect of the fact that there were border crossings. But here's the thing that I think you're not understanding. No, you actually did, dude. You did. You literally said it. It was you saying it. It was literally you saying it. I don't know. Like, I'm not even putting words in your mouth, but you're over here trying to put words into mine. So let me be clear. What do you think CBP keeps track of? Does CBP keep track of crossings on their website?
Does it keep crossings on their website?
Does CBP, Customs and Border Protection, keep track
of
crossings on their website?
The amount of crossings on their website.
They do not. they keep track of
Okay.
encounters, which according to their own
Correct.
definition of encounters means that those people were rejected when they try to come in. Those were kept track of attempted illegal border crossings that were either stopped through at a port of entry or within 100 miles of the border. So when we actually look at the fact that there was 8.4 million encounters, right, from October of 2020 through October of 2024, what we actually see is that means Customs and Border Protection was doing their job in stopping all of these individuals and then rejecting them.
So why would we have reports of arguably 10 to 12,000 people coming at once? Do we not remember the migrant caravans? Do we not remember all of that?
And if you
Is that-
actually
is that
looked
something
at
that we just
anything that
removed
CBP has ever said is that
is
the
that something that did
caravans
not
have been talked about in every administration, including Donald Trump's first term. The caravans
So
have
has there
always
been a
been
caravan
talked
in this
about.
administration?
I am literally in the middle of
Has there been a
talking.
caravan in
Okay,
this
fine.
administration?
The caravans have always been talked about in every administration prior to even Donald
Yes,
Trump
ma'am.
coming into office in January 20th of 2025. The fact is that none of the caravans have ever actually made it fully to the southern border nor to the northern border. They break up prior to ever reaching the border.
Okay.
And that is
So
per
if-
CBP themselves.
how do
They
we have
always
such positive
spot
migration to the
caravans
point to
a
where-
ways away.
If I may, so if that's the case, why is it that when we have all of these raids in the New York cities and we're finding migrant hotels paid by federal funding, and there's thousands of migrants in all of these hotels around the United States? See, the thing is, immigration is not just border crossings.
Are
It's a
you-
multifaceted thing that impacts the
Oh, I
economy.
thought you were going to
It
ask
impacts
me a
jobs,
question
it
about.
impacts-
Are you asking? Are
Yeah,
you
and
landing your
I'm-
question, or
I'm-
are you just
I'm-
continuing
I'm-
on?
I'm prefacing my question, if I may. If that's, see, I'm not trying to be aggressive here. I'm genuinely trying to have a conversation with you, and I've been respectful. Hopefully, if I
You
have not
haven't
been, I
actually. I've been in the middle of answering your question, and you've literally interrupted me to try to start another question. So I'm
Well,
just
I
returning the
apologize.
same energy to you.
I apologize.
So
Yes, I'm
again,
not trying to do
so
that.
are you saying that the individuals that were in hotels in New York City, were they illegal immigrants or were they legal migrants? Which one were they?
I would say that they were illegal immigrants.
Illegal immigrants. How did they get to New York from the southern border?
They were bused
By who?
by, I believe, Abbott and other people, other conservative people that assisted with busing them to the sanctuary city.
Oh, wait. So you're telling me that Greg Abbott of Texas committed human trafficking? If they're illegal immigrants, then he committed human trafficking by putting them on a bus in Texas to send them to New York City instead of sending them back out of the
If
country.
Two states have communication that, hey, we don't want these people here, but they say,
Oh,
hey, we will
you
take
can't
them
answer
here.
this
And
question.
he
Does
sends
critical
them
thinking
there,
escape you?
And it's not human trafficking, because it's
How is it
agreement
not
between
human
two states.
trafficking if they're not allowed to be in this
It's an
country
agreement
and a
between-
governor
I'm
knowingly
I'm
and a
trying to
governor
reply.
knowingly
I'm
puts
trying
them
to
on a
reply.
bus and a governor
I'm trying to
knowingly
reply.
puts them on a bus knowing that they're not supposed to be in this country just to send them to another city. How does that not
That
equal to
agreed
human
to
trafficking
accept them
when
in
they're
the
not supposed to be
communication of the
here?
states? It's
He did not
human
communicate
trafficking
with them,
when you
sir.
have
He
two
did not
federal
communicate with them.
officials.
He did not communicate. It is
Did he
human
communicate?
trafficking. If
Did
they
he-
are not
he didn't
supposed to
send-
be in this country, sir, then that is human trafficking because they are here against the law, correct? That's your whole point about saying that they're unauthorized illegal immigrants. So you can't have it both ways. So you're incapable of nope, it wasn't agreed upon. It wasn't agreed upon.
May I please make a point?
Dude,
make
you've
a
already
point?
made your point and you failed.
No, I haven't. You've cut me off. You think I
Again,
failed because you
returning
haven't allowed me to
energy.
speak. So
Again,
if-
returning the
if
same energy to
communication-
you.
So
Okay,
I
let's
allowed you to
see.
speak.
Did
So, you're
Greg
filibustering. My
Abbott
point is,
You don't know what a filibuster is. Am I in the Senate? 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 Wow, guys, I just figured this out, that I am now a part of the Senate of the United States of America, so therefore I can commit a filibuster. Where are my other 59 votes to break the filibuster to make you feel better? Like, let's be for real. Did Greg Abbott reach agreement with Eric Adams in order
actually is human trafficker
to move illegal immigrants to New York City? Let's see.
You should Google
Let's
if he communicated with other federal officials to send those people to them.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see here. No, Texas Governor Greg Abbott and New York City Mayor Greg Adams have not reached an agreement regarding the transportation of illegal immigrants. Wow. In fact, guess what? Wow. New York City sued the bus company that... Oh, wait, this is even better. Hold on. This gets even better. Oh, my goodness. Hold on, guys. This gets even better. Oh, this is... Oh, New York City sues 17 charter bus companies for over $700 million over transporting asylum seekers to the city from Texas. Oh my goodness. Asylum is a legal process, which means they weren't illegal immigrants. Oh my gosh. Why would you lie to me and tell me that they were illegal?
It's not trafficking, so I concede that point. I apologize.
Oh, can you admit that you lied?
I did not lie.
You did. You said that they were illegal immigrants. You said they were illegal.
They were asylum seekers. So
Oh.
I'm conceding and saying you were correct, and I learned something and saying thank you.
Got you.
But that's
Right,
still not
because if they were actually
still not enough.
illegal immigrants, and they were put on a bus to be sent to a whole other city or state knowingly by the government, no matter which level of government it was, that would be considered human trafficking, sir, which is a federal offense,
So have
which
we
means if
confirmed
that was
every
the
asylum
case...
seekers, true that their story was true? Like we said that all of them were asylum seekers? But
the
I
ones
concede
that were
that, okay,
sent
if they
to
were
New
asylum
York
seekers, I'll
were
take that.
asylum
I'll take
seekers.
that
Yes,
point.
sir.
I'll take that
Yeah,
point.
and they
Either way,
didn't
I do agree
receive
with
federal
immigration needs to
funding.
be done,
They
that
didn't
the
receive
deportation
federal
needs to be
funding
done.
to stay there. That was all state funding, which is also part of the reason why Eric Adams was suing the companies and was also probably suing Texas. I'm sure I could find that if I tried, but I
It was
wasn't looking
state
for that.
funding. So who funds the state?
The taxpayers.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're paying for something that they don't even agree
Thank
with.
you, Reeve. No, plenty of them still do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's why Trump was elected. So.
No, Trump was elected
Or do
because
you
of
not believe that the election was real?
real.
Are y'all the election deniers now? I'll concede they were asylum seekers. I apologize. Thank you for letting me know that. That was good information. I appreciate it.
Well, maybe if you would look this up more than a year ago, you would have learned more than a year ago because this happened more than a year ago. Do you
you're
see?
being
This is
condescending for no
actually
reason.
the reason. Well, no, you asked me
being
the reason.
condescending.
You asked me why Trump was elected is because
Why are you
individuals such as
condescending?
yourself
You're supposed to
had a
debate so people learn.
year to look up the information and didn't choose to do any research to actually find anything to support your claims or to make sure that you were right. Instead, you spent the entire time, I would assume, reading stuff like Fox News, listening to the New York Post, listening to Newsmax, which just so everybody knows, Newsmax just lost a huge lawsuit for lying about voting machines, right? Like, do you understand? Like, that you are a prime example of why Donald Trump won. You didn't do any research. You didn't do any research, and that's a you problem, not a me problem. And I'm sorry if that hurts your
Like, I came
feelings
to
that
this
you
channel
are
to
the one
learn.
who failed to do any research.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay.
Oh, you hung up. Okay. That's fine. I can go through some chats real quick. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Adon, for the 99. Thank you, Unbelievable, for sending out a gifted membership. Danny, or Q Danny, for the 100 jewels. Oh, Bishop, thank you for the bits. I don't know what that, like, adds up to be. Malone says, the real criminals and thugs are the cops and military that Trump has patrolling the streets and Republicans who support his criminal regime. Oh, you mean like the first caller? No, I absolutely agree with you. I'm glad you think so, Master. He wasn't, because he was wrong. But hey, if that's what you need to tell yourself, it's okay. Colorado doesn't want you. Change your number. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Everybody thinks. Actually, so Mick, that would be really funny if you could still say that Colorado was a purple state when in fact they are no longer purple. So, you could probably make that claim if Colorado wasn't just straight blue and has been since 2012. Thank you, Bishop. Yes, because Do Not Disturb is on, so the calls are going to go straight to voicemail. But thank you for the $1.99. Oh, again, you see how none of you actually believe in facts? And you are a fact denier. And he had to acknowledge that he was wrong. So if he acknowledged that he was wrong, and that he conceded the points, then he didn't win. Just saying. Oh, I got you, Bishop. That sounds cool. Also, I'm not in this to win something. I am trying to have a conversation, but again, I just was matching his energy. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Do you still support him?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And what year were you born?
2002.
Okay. Why do you still support Trump? Wow, girl. Grow the fuck up. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
24.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Do you still support him?
6'7".
That was weird. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
24.
Okay, did you vote for Trump? Does that... Why did that do that? Hi, thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, did you, how old are you?
How's it going?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Okay, do you still support him?
Kinda, maybe. Why don't you? Why don't you?
I don't support a president.
Say the biggest issue you have.
I was literally getting to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I personally don't support a president that goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution, talks about annexing our neighbor Canada, talks about buying another sovereign country known as Greenland, or talks about taking back the Panama Canal after it was rightly given back to the Panama Canal by an act of Congress in 1999 after military occupation caused civil unrest and riots. Hi.
Huh. So do you think the election was stolen then?
Nope, never said that.
Why do you think he won then?
Why? Because people didn't do their research. Thank you for the one.
You a stinky nigger?
How about you grow up? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
6'7" nigger.
Grow the fuck up, people. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am
Hi, how old are you?
32.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump? Hey, Brian.
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
What's your main reason why?
Reason why I voted for him, or I still support him.
Why you still support him?
I really like his criminal justice and social policy.
What is his criminal justice policy?
So when he passed the First Step Act, thought that was a great bipartisan.
No, I'm asking
criminal
why
justice
you still
reform law.
actively support him in the year 2025.
Because Joe Biden did nothing to enhance the First Step Act. And
That
he's
has
continuing
nothing to do
enhance
with why you support him in 2025. Bringing up Joe Biden has nothing to do with Donald Trump's
Again,
7 months in
because-
presidency.
He's still enhancing the First Step Act. in his
What has he
second
done
term.
to enhance the First Step Act in his second term?
How is he enhancing it?
What has he done to enhance it? What
He's put
article?
the right people. He's put the right people in place in the Department of Justice so they can effectively apply the law.
So
is
do you not
one.
know what the First Step Act was? I'm understanding.
Do I know what the First Step Act is?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Sure, what did it do?
It reduced mandatory minimums, also expanded rehabilitation programs. It allows inmates to actively program while in prison to earn extra time off their sentence.
And so
and
what
reduce the
exactly,
recidivism rates.
what policy has Donald Trump initiated to further the First Step Act?
What policies has he initiated? Many of
Yeah.
policies that are with the Department of Justice, especially with the BOP, that allows them to.
No,
effectively
that wouldn't be a
apply
policy,
the
sir.
First Step
You
Act.
said specifically this was a policy. Those aren't policies. What
So if
an
an
agency
agency-
does, those are rules, right? So when I'm asking
No,
about
those are
policy,
ma'am,
that
those
would
are
be
policies.
they're not policies. Okay.
No, those are policies. What an agency follows is called a policy. It's not called a rule.
So a policy is what is passed and goes through Congress and then
Well, that's a
signed by the
law.
president. Oh, but it's a
a law.
policy. No, it's a policy.
No, so that's a law. So it's a law that gets signed and then it's distributed to the agencies, and the agencies.
It's a
develop
policy that
policies
becomes
regarding that
law. It's a policy that becomes law.
Okay, so it's a policy that becomes law. It gets signed by the president, and then when the law is initiated by the president's signature, it gets diverted to the attorneys into those agencies. They take the law and they create policy. The policy is then followed by the employees of that agency. Right?
Nope, you still haven't told me what he's done to further it.
Again, I have. Well, I'll go to a second point then. We're not. Just go to a completely different point
Okay.
on why I still support
Trump and why I will continue to support Trump. Because he's cleaning up the streets. The only president to do so. In your previous caller, you say, oh, we want to argue facts. The president has full authority to activate the National Guard in Washington, D.C. It is not a violation of the
Not to
Constitution.
militarize them, no, sir.
No, actually, it's the Constitution actually supports him. According to Article 1, Section 8.
Article 1? Really?
Section
Article
8.
1. What is Article 1 over? Who is Article 1 over?
Okay, let me finish my point, and then you can
Who
come back in.
is Article 1 over?
Is D.C. a state or not?
Who is Article 1 over? What branch of government is Article 1?
Again, do you want me to make
What
my point, or we're just gonna go
branch
for
of
second
government is Article 1? What? I can hear you typing. What branch of government is Article 1?
Again, with D.C.
Got you. So you
Okay.
don't know. I mean, if you don't know, that's all you have to say. It's actually not difficult to say when you don't know something.
You tell me.
Yeah, Article 1 is over the legislative body, also known as Congress. Article 2 is actually the executive branch of government. And then Article 3 is the judicial branch of government, also known as the Supreme Court.
Okay, so let's expand on this. Article 1, Section 8 gives Congress the power to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever. That's what it reads. Over the District of Columbia. Because D.C. is not a state, it has no governor. Correct? However, furthermore, under laws passed by the Congress in D.C. Code, the president is the commander-in-chief of the D.C. National Guard.
You don't have to raise your voice, dude.
Well, I'm just matching your energy.
I didn't raise my voice to you, so that wouldn't be matching my energy.
first
Being
off,
sarcastic
that's not
would
raising my
be
voice. I'm over
matching
phone.
my... And you can still...
But now,
Is it
don't
impossible
argue
to
with
raise your
emotion.
voice?
Don't
Oh, wow.
start arguing with me, raise my voice when I'm actually bringing up facts. Okay? The delegation is constitutional because the Congress is full authority of the D.C. However, they also initiated the Commander-in-Chief, D.C. National Guard, as the President of the United States. So when you said to the previous caller that it violates the Constitution, you're completely incorrect.
Oh, it does violate the own law that he activated, which is why it's still actually being under the investigative review under the judicial branch of government. So that's fun.
That's great. So that's really going to work out for them, just like everything else has worked out for them. It doesn't violate any state's rights. D.C.'s not a state.
I didn't say anything about states' rights, sir.
But you're arguing that it violates the Constitution and that they're arguing in court. Of course the Democrats are going to argue in court. That's all they have left, is to argue in court, is to throw darts at a dartboard. That's why, if you notice, every dart they threw at a dartboard in his first term is coming back to bite him in the ass.
Oh, is it?
It is. That's why
Right.
Shifty Shift over here, lawyered up. He's under investigation.
Shift.
That's why the Attorney General's under investigation. After that scathing report from the appeals court in New York saying that she was politically motivated. And I get it. You guys don't want to vote for Trump because you're emotionally attached to the subject. You don't like
Oh, I
seeing
am?
his rhetoric. You don't
Oh.
like hearing him talk
Today
because
I
he's
learned.
open. If you heard any president ever in the history of presidency
Oh.
talk openly as Trump did, no one would vote for anybody.
Gotcha.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I brought up facts, and instead of you coming back at me with facts, you argued that I was raising my voice, that I
So
couldn't
have
know
you
what
ever heard of the
legislative branch was,
Posse
that I was apparently
Comitus
typing.
Act?
Excuse me?
Have you ever heard of the Posse Comitus Act?
Please explain to me what that is, because you probably just Googled it in one of your 3 screens that you're looking at. But go ahead, explain to me.
Oh, 3 screens? Okay.
I'm waiting for an
so
explanation.
it's actually the law that prevents the president from utilizing the National Guard as a domestic police force.
Again, the National Guard is there to support the police. Okay? He's not designating them as a police force. He's supporting the police. They can use the resources from the police there. However, he also has the right, under certain clauses, to give them arrest powers. And because
No,
he controls
that's
DC,
exactly
the
what
commander of
this
chiefs.
is falls under the comitas. Same thing. That actually falls against it. They can't arrest people. It literally is against being able to be used as a domestic police force, sir. So by giving them the power to arrest people, that is actively going against that law that was passed in 1878, sir.
Okay. Do you know the exceptions of that act?
Do you? You've never heard of it before.
There's one exception that's been labeled in the media, which is why the Democrats have no leg to stand on. If they did, they would be fighting it more than they are doing now. The only people that are fighting it are the local police departments that fail to do the job in the first place,
Oh.
that are worried about losing their jobs. That's the only people that you hear talking about it. Hakeem Jeffries made one tweet. Since then, just one tweet, and then he's forgotten about it. Because they're more worried about the gerrymandering that's happening, which, by the way,
TikTok,
Illinois
we should
started.
already be at
I'm
50,000
not gonna
likes.
go into
Come on,
that
guys.
either.
Okay.
The president can invoke powers.
No, okay.
Yes, because, again, D.C. is not a state. It's not controlled by governor. President is the head of the National Guard there. He can say under the Insurrection Act that, oh, there's an insurrection in his capital. He's deploying the National Guard under his purview, under his district.
No, it would have had to been by a mass group of people committing an insurrection. You obviously don't even know what the definition of an insurrection is, because no way, shape, or form could it be considered an insurrection within the state capitol. What was going on with the fact that there was just a couple of carjackings, specifically against one former Doge employee, which was really what set it all off, right? Some guy with the nickname of Big Balls apparently didn't have very big ones. If he couldn't handle getting carjacked by somebody, that he had to go boo-hoo to the President of the United States in order for the President of the United States to violate the letter of the law, which again, it's not an insurrection.
Okay.
Was
Great.
there an attack on the
An
state
argument
capitol?
with that one as well.
Oh, okay.
As well, the National Guard
You
could
got-
act in law enforcement roles because it's under D.C. control. You can look this up. I mean, I know you don't want to look it up because you don't want to be like, oh, God, I'm wrong. A Trump supporter actually knows what he's talking about. Oh,
You're still factually
woo-hoo.
incorrect.
I mean, right
Can
now
you
I'm
define an
arguing with a girl that
insurrection
calls
yet?
herself a fucking mermaid. So,
Have you ever heard of a play on words?
I mean, just throwing it out there. You have no.
Have you ever
point.
heard of a
You
play on
don't. You have
words?
nothing off the top of your head. You Google shit as it's active. I bring something
For
up to
things
you.
that I'm not
you have
well
no
versed
idea you think
in.
I'm
Wow.
raising my voice.
I got
which
it,
I'm
guys.
sorry
I get
offended
it,
you.
guys. It's so bad when somebody actually looks up something that they're not well versed in, that they call it Googling it, or that they actually cite their sources in the middle of having a conversation. I'm so sorry that somehow was fragile to you in some way,
It's not
or the
fragile,
fact that
but when
you
you
take an
Google something,
offense,
because-
or that you take
Go
an
ahead.
offense to the fact that my channel name has the word mermaid in it. I didn't
call
realize
yourself
that
a
mermaid was such an offensive word to people, or to even claim being a mythical being, right? But it's okay if Donald Trump posts pictures of himself with a Jesus standing behind him from an AI generated image, or paints himself as the Pope. That's perfectly okay, but God forbid I don't dress up like a mermaid but just have it in my channel name. Got it. Still hasn't
Struck
said
a chord
anything
there.
to what I said.
My apologies. Didn't mean to offend you.
No, I'm pointing out your own
However-
hypocrisy.
That's perfectly fine. However, again, when you Google things, you're Googling stuff just to support your argument. You don't have an open mind to
Oh, I
look at the other
don't?
side.
Gotcha.
Every single caller that's called in here
Oh,
that
yeah?
made a point, you go against them 100% of the way.
Oh, that's not true. This must be the first time that you ever watched my live.
It was the first time I watched your live last 47 minutes. Not one time have you acknowledged
Oh,
the
okay.
correct point from a caller that had actual correct points.
Oh, you mean like the last
Not one
caller
time, 'cause
that
all
said
you're
that
doing-
all of the immigrants that were in New York City were illegal, and in fact they were asylum seekers? Or his argument saying that Greg Abbott worked it out with the governor of New York City, knowing full well that was also untrue, that it was never worked out an agreement between the two governors. Greg Abbott just sent it. He didn't even know that the transportation of illegal immigrants, well, he did know that would fall under human trafficking, but he didn't
Then why
realize that
hasn't
with
he
that
been
own
charged?
argument, Greg Abbott would have been convicted or at least charged with human trafficking. But the reason why he hasn't been charged, sir, is because they were all legal immigrant asylum seekers. workers, which is why they were able to be covered by state funds, because in most states, not all of them, but in the vast majority of states, that unless you have documented status, right? So whether it means you have to be claiming one of the 6 ways that you can be a legal immigrant within this country, right? In order to obtain state funds, you have to be a legal immigrant in the majority of states. There are some exceptions, like states like California, that do offer assistance to individuals that don't have what would be considered a legal status. Again, that's why Greg Abbott wasn't charged with human trafficking, because they were in fact asylum seekers and therefore here legally.
And what does it have to do with?
Oh, the fact that
That's
you
my
said that
thought.
people made all of these points
Yeah,
that
you just
prove
brought
me
up the
wrong.
last caller before.
Right, and
He
even
was
then,
completely
like
wrong.
even then, the last guy couldn't even, the very first caller, okay, couldn't even understand the own flaws in his own logic. If it is okay to federalize the National Guard, right, or call out the National Guard just because there is not an uptick in crime, right? We have the statistics say that there's actually a decrease in crime. That means that every single governor in every single state should be able to activate the National Guard to go into any city that sees an uptick in their murder. And I gave him that as a reference point. I just pulled a random city and state out of my hat, right? And he just didn't like that, so he couldn't go against. He couldn't say anything. All he could do was no. I'm talking about DC. I'm talking about DC. I'm talking about DC. Not realizing the flaws in his own logic. So again, when you're saying that all of them made all of these points and yet they were all wrong or couldn't even stay logically consistent, they haven't made points yet, sir. Same as
So how are you comparing Washington D.C. to other states when it falls under completely different laws?
Did
and
you?
regulations?
What did I say about the states activating their National Guard exactly? How did I say that would happen? Did I
Something
say
about
that
governor.
the governor, which is the correct chain of authority, correct?
Under states, not D.C.
Under states, not DC. But it falls under the same argument because guess what?
It doesn't.
Do you understand what the executive branch is in the state government? Who is the executive branch in the state government?
Go ahead, explain it to me. I want to know your whole point.
Oh, I mean, I've made my point. You're just not understanding it. So again,
No,
the
because you keep
governor is
comparing
the
DC
executive
to other
branch.
states. If
The
he activated
the
National Guard in
executive.
Florida,
oh,
then we have an
gosh.
argument.
Okay. So the governor is the executive branch over a state, right? So let's just take Florida for example. Okay. So that would be Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is the executive branch over the state. The executive branch has the authority to call up the National Guard in their state. So what I'm saying, if by the logic that it is perfectly okay for Donald Trump to call out the National Guard in Washington, D.C., then you would then have to reason that in any state, let's just say continue on Florida, Tallahassee saw an uptick in murders. So Ron DeSantis should be able to therefore call out the National Guard and have them surveying Tallahassee, correct? Or would
Sure.
you not be okay with that?
I'd be okay with it. It's the law.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
You
not
like
how
the
this
law?
works.
You don't like the law, vote somebody in that's going to change the law.
I already told
Win an
you that
election.
again. What? I don't need to win an election, sir. I'm not running
No,
for
but your
office.
party needs to win an election if they want to actively change
I'm not
the
a
laws
part
they
of a
don't agree
party.
with.
I have no
So
political
independent.
affiliation.
Of course you don't. You just hate Trump. You're
If you listen to like a call
Trump
before
derangement
you,
syndrome is what you suffer from.
actually they are evaluating Trump derangement syndrome, but it's not for people that voted against Trump. It's actually for individuals such as yourself that voted for him and still support him because they have
And
to
the people
pretzel
that are
themselves into
evaluating
logic.
it are liberals like yourself.
Oh, does everybody that
Just
disagree
another
with Trump
way
just
to
have to
drive
be a
wedge.
liberal?
That's all
Got
it
it.
Because
Yeah.
you guys can't win.
No,
you
see
know,
what it is
under
you
your
can't even win an
policies. Your
argument. You
policies
still
are
have
trash.
failed to define what an insurrection is in any way, shape, or form, or how to or describe exactly what is going on in Washington, D.C. that qualifies as an insurrection, which again you failed to define. So you still don't even know what an insurrection is. You're unable to qualify your own arguments. And that's a you problem, not a me problem. Just because I'm actually speaking to you with logic that you seem to fail to comprehend, that doesn't doesn't mean that I am somehow falling a victim of TDS or anything else. I've clearly have explained multiple times, and if you've been listening, as you said, for 47 minutes, then you would have actually already heard my reasoning for why I do not support Donald Trump. I have actually been very clear on that. If you fail to listen, that's a you problem again.
He offends you, that's why.
I've actually already explained why.
Because of the Greenland talk, or Canada's the 51st state?
Oh, there was more to it than that. I'm glad that's the only thing you heard. I listed actually 5 things, so.
If I can remember, immigration, Canada, Greenland, the DC thing.
Didn't even say
I don't
anything
remember
about
the
2 of those things.
Which ones you didn't say about?
Oh, I mean, you said you were
Immigration
listening
one?
for 47 minutes, so again, this is a you problem, not a me problem.
So you don't like when he says, oh, Canada needs to be the 51st state?
I said a lot of things. I'm just pointing
asking
out
about
that
that
you're not
specific
actually
point.
listening.
You don't like tough presidents, do you?
No, this
You
is
don't
just...
like guys that say things to put pressure on other
Okay.
countries to actually uphold
I
their
get
side
it.
of
At this
the
point, this is
bargain.
all just projection. I got it. No worries, I
Not
understand.
projection. You got trash in the DC argument.
No,
got
you've
trash
still
in the First Step
failed.
argument. You don't even know what a policy or a law is. And
Neither
then
do
your
you,
rebuttal was, I
so...
was raising my voice. This is why when you look at the little comments, you have your liberal people that support you and tip you, and then you have your trolls.
I get
Then
paid
you
by
have the
Trump
actual people
supporters.
that actually list why you're always wrong. And every time you think you're going to be wrong, you Google something that supports your side, even though it's a losing argument, which is
No,
why the
I
Democrats
just
continue to lose.
Google
is because they have
things.
losing arguments and losing policy.
I just want to remind you
And then
guys,
start
it's so
arguing
bad
it
for
to the point where
anybody
you're
to
making no
Google.
sense. And then when you're like, oh
It's
God,
so
I'm not
bad to
making any more
Google.
sense, let's try to attack the caller.
No,
and
that's
say-
what
and
you're
quiz
doing,
him
actually.
on certain keywords. Let's just start quizzing him to try to reduce his credibility.
No,
Which
that's just
anybody who has
because
two
words are
thumbs can look at
important.
what I'm saying and say it's true and correct.
No, sir.
I
Words
mean,
are
I'm
important.
sorry. I'm
If
gonna
you don't
continue
understand the
voting for
meaning of
Republicans. I'm
words,
going to continue voting
words
for
are
guys
important.
that
You
Trump
don't understand
endorses.
the meaning of words. I understand. Thank you, all position, for renewing your subscription. I do appreciate you so much. You're actually the one that went
guy's a
after ad
moron.
hominem attacks the very first time. You're the one that got upset about the fact that I have the word mermaid in my name and continue to get upset over just the simplest
I
of
wasn't
things.
upset.
It's
I was just
actually
making
quite
fun of
sad
it.
that you're
I was
this
making fun
emotional
of it
about
that someone who doesn't
everything.
know what they're talking
I've
about
actually been
calls
very
himself a
calm
mermaid
this entire time.
is
I haven't
arguing
even
with
leaned
people.
close enough to my microphone because
You're
it,
wrong
honestly,
right now.
you
I'm
haven't
not-
been
I'm
worth
chilling.
the effort that I could be putting into anything. That's why nobody's
I'm
heard
chilling.
me
The effort that you
clickety
put
clack
into
on the
is putting on
keyboard because
headphones
my
and
keyboard's
Googling.
loud. I have one of those mechanical keyboards, so it's really loud when I type. Everybody can hear it when I type, okay? So it's just really interesting that you want to say that, oh, you lost. Oh my God, you lost so bad. I'm not here to try to win an argument. I'm here to have a conversation, which you failed because you don't even understand the basic meanings of words. And you have an issue of the fact
There
that
it
I'm
is.
questioning into what words you're using because, again, words
There
are
it is.
important. Words have meaning. If you use the incorrect word, then you're not saying it. Got it.
There it is. There's one of the points I was making. You just proved it. Again, this call was fun. Hopefully people on the bottom can see how crazy liberals are. I argued
not a
with
liberal.
mermaid. I argued with someone who calls himself a mermaid. It was the best, I don't know, 21.
No need for your outro. This is not an airport. Literally, he couldn't wait to interrupt. That was actually really funny. You don't like tough presidents. Meh. Thank you for the 2. Thank you, Q Danny, for the 100. Thank you for the tool jewels. And then, yeah, listen, Bishop. Ari can attest to this. I'm a conservative and yeah, Bishop supports me. I'm just being very honest. Like, I probably get more from Republicans than I do from anyone else. Yeah, triggered by mermaids. Exactly, Yinger. Isn't that so silly? Like, let me be triggered by the fact that somebody has mermaid in their username. Is that so bad? Mermaid is now a dirty word. I'm gonna have to remember that. It was, Codester, because it was used to deflect the argument. Yeah, basically, Queen Anne's lace. Agreed. Thank you for the floating cart. I actually don't get to see like the little things as they come across the screen for you guys, which does make it a little bit sad, but don't get to see it. It's very sad. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello,
How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, ma'am.
What year were you born?
I was born in 2002.
Okay. Do you still support Trump?
Occasionally,
Why do you still support Trump?
just as you yap so much.
Oh, little baby. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. How old are you?
This show is amazing. I just want to say keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you have a good night.
You too. Stay blessed.
All right. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
I am 19.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did not vote this year.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good night, man. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
19.
Did you vote for Trump?
No.
You said no? Okay. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Why is everybody 23? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
You still support him?
Yes, I do.
Have I talked to you before?
No, you have not.
Okay. Why do you still support Trump?
I support him for a lot of his policies, like pro-life. At the same time, when it comes to taxation, cutting benefits.
What has Donald Trump done in his 7 months of presidency that have supported the pro-life movement?
Pro-life, he's trying to give incentives, kind of like the tax credits or other situation that he's trying to help out with.
So just the tax credit is what you have?
Tax credit, we can look at the big beautiful bill. He's trying to help a lot more situations.
The big beautiful bill is going to make children in this country lose access to their SNAP benefits when it goes fully into effect in 2027. So I don't really understand how that's really in support of pro-life. So let me question you, since you brought up these parts. So do you support that all children in school, and I mean like up through 18, so we'll just say up through 12th grade, right? They should have access to free school lunches?
No.
Then you're not pro-life. Do you support children up to the age of 18 having health insurance?
The state of this topic. So when we're talking free lunches, this is going to be the responsibility of the parents to make sure that the kids are taken care of.
Okay, so again, you're not pro-life. So if I was going to claim that I was actually pro-life, I would actually support all children regardless of what cycle of life they're in, okay? So I would say that every child should never go to bed hungry, especially when they're in school and they're attempting to get an education. So I would support unequivocally free school lunches for every child in the United States of America that are in school up through 12th grade, right? All the way through 12th grade. I would also support all children having access to health care, because those are the people that are going to be our next generation of individuals that are going into the workforce. But I assume that you also don't. Actually, yes, it is considered a human right by the World Health Organization and the UN, so that's cool. I know you don't care about anything but yourself. It's okay. We understand that already. But I find it very telling that you say that you're going to be pro-life, but the only thing that you're going to support, this isn't a debate, sir. This is a conversation. And in fact, I'm actually quite tired of talking to people that claim that they're pro-life when they don't even understand what that definition would actually be. In reality, I'm sure it's just that you're against abortion, so you're really just pro-forced birth. I'm sure you also agree with what occurred to Adriana Smith and her family, where she was used as a human incubator to keep a 9-week-old fetus alive up into the point of 26 weeks, where it was still born prematurely, still has a ton of health issues that the hospital named for
You're
them. So
assuming
you're
my
actually just...
argument.
No,
You're
I'm not
asserting-
assuming your argument. I'm actually just
you're
talking over you.
asserting-
I'm not
you're
even assuming your
asserting-
argument. I'm actually
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna give you
talking
the
over
argument
you
of causal
because I actually don't
obligation, the
care
one that
about
you lost
individuals
to
such
when
as
it
yourself
comes to
that claim to
immigrants.
be pro-life,
Remember
but the
the
only thing
argument
that
that you
you're
got
saying that
dog
you
walked
support
by?
throughout all of
You
this
can't
is just
actually
the fact
debate.
that people are getting a child
can't
tax
debate.
credit, which,
The only
by the
reason
way, is
why
still
you
less than
do
what
so
Kamala
well is
Harris
because
even
people
supported
find you
when she was
attractive.
campaigning. So it's still not even that much. And even then it sunsets, so it has an
reason why you do
expiration
so
date.
well on-
So it's not going to
like
last for very
anything.
long. I believe it's only set for 2 years to go through. So even then, it's not even that long of a tax credit.
So then
And
argue the causal
guess what?
obligation
Unfortunately, there are
then.
too many individuals in this country that don't even use the tax credit that they
Then
get
argue
in
the
order to
causal
go through to their
obligation.
children. So it's not even supporting
Guys,
parents,
I
nor
think
is it
I'll
supporting their
copy
children.
you. She
If
lost
we were
against
actually
me.
going
I
to
got a
support
video of
children and
it.
give them incentives,
Yeah, she lost
or
the
sorry,
debate
support
to me.
parents
She
and give
went
them
to
incentives in
AdPub,
order
and she
to
went-
continue to,
It's
I
my
don't know,
argument.
actually birth children in our country, then we would actually be supporting parental leave,
she knows
paid
she
parental
lost the
leave for
argument because
everybody,
she can't debate
specifically maternity leave, because women are the ones that do all the work and all the labor
That's
and
a
have
lie.
to carry that child
That's a
within
lie.
them, right? That fetus inside of them.
Women don't
They
do all
have
the
to do all
work
the labor.
when it comes to pregnancy.
Men just get to do 2 pumps and done. Like, lucky for you, am I right?
That's
Because
their
I
work.
guess you
Wait,
just
that's
don't get
their
it. Yeah.
work.
I'm not
Are you trying to
arguing.
say 2 pumps is
Guys,
not
I'm
work?
literally not even trying to argue. I am so tired of individuals that claim to be pro-life but don't even know the basics of it. Like, that's the whole thing. I'm so tired of individuals claiming like they care about children when they absolutely don't. So yeah, it's very telling to me when the first thing you say is just bring up the child tax credit, and then you yourself are the one who brought up the big beautiful bill, which again is going to remove SNAP benefits, which is specifically for children, right? And their parents have to be working in order to even qualify for SNAP. So that's what I understand. So you said you brought up the big beautiful bill, just a friendly reminder. So you brought that up, and you would have to acknowledge that it is going to cut medical insurance for individuals, specifically kids,
don't believe
right? It's going
medical is
because
a
that's
human right.
Medicaid. Medicaid is for kids. It's going to
Yeah,
make
medical is
children
not a
go
human
hungry
right.
throughout
This
this
is a
country,
want, not
and
a-
you're okay with that. Yeah, that sounds extremely
This is a
pro-life
want.
of you.
This is a
That
want.
sounds
This is a
extremely
want.
pro-life of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to actually debate now or no?
I already told you it's not a debate. I'm so glad you're not listening.
Okay, so let's have a discussion then.
No, I'm good. Anybody that immediately comes up and starts calling themselves pro-life, I lose interest in you because you're already pro-death. Well, thanks, Wids. I appreciate that. Listen, sometimes people like them just need to be talked over. And exactly. I don't usually put up these comments, but I will real quick. It's my stream. I don't have to. Yeah. Jay Coleman is 100% correct. I don't have to. Hi, Bedrock. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate that. Really quickly, I haven't done a PSA this entire live, and that's totally unacceptable for me. Okay. TikTok. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 in the next 8 minutes, and I know we can do that. Let's go ahead and clear out the live goal. I'm going to mute real quick on TikTok. Just give me a second. Over on Twitch, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I don't know if you realize this, but on Twitch, you can become a subscriber for free through your Amazon Prime membership. So consider looking into that if you want to. Don't forget to hit that follow button. I am new to Twitch. Twitch is a little bit odd for me. Over on YouTube, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the donations. If the best way to support me is to actually become a member, I've already had 2 members, so I would like to try to get 3 more before I end my live today. So if you guys are able to become a member, I would so appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button up at the top. That's the way to follow me. But memberships are the best way to continue to support me and for me to keep doing this 2 hours a couple of days a week, okay? So I do just appreciate you guys. Again, I'm just like looking for 3 more members for the day. I think 5 a day is pretty decent. It's also a very, very small amount as well. And if you do send a super chat, it does go right up on the screen and I do discuss it. It might take me until after the caller, but I do get to it. So I do appreciate you guys so much. All right. And right. W. Richard. I don't even call myself that. I am strictly pro-choice. You're awesome. That's how I say. Huh. Okay, Jason, if that's what you have to go to make yourself feel better, And tell me you don't understand what a menstrual cycle is without telling me you don't understand what a menstrual cycle is. But thank you for the 5. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how old are you? Thank you, NG.
33.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
I do.
What's your main reason why?
A couple executive orders, actually, he passed.
Okay, let's start with one. What executive order? Name or the number, please, and I'll go ahead and pull it up.
Okay, ended taxpayer money going to illegal immigrants.
What's the name of the executive order? That's not the name of the executive order.
I believe it's something of that nature, but the executive order is, I believe, 14218.
That might be it. Let's see. EO 14218. All right. Pulling it up on the Federal Registrar, and then I do have to go back through and check to see something because I do know something already.
You're awesome.
No, take your time.
Oh, thank you, Paul, for sending out a gifted membership. I do appreciate that. All right, so I would assume this is the correct one where it talks about ending taxpayer subsidization of open borders. Now, are you aware that that's actually already been a law since, gosh, I gotta remember the date. Hold on. What law is this specifically? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's been a law, but I believe it got reinstated by Trump, which is the executive order, is the reinstatement of the law.
No, that wouldn't be reinstating it. That's just saying that, hey, guys, you could say reinforcing it, but because it's a law, it's already being enforced. And there is actually no taxpayer money going to illegal immigrants. That is literally against the law.
No, there was explicitly in Democrat states where taxpayer money was getting used
Taxpayer money,
to house.
state money, yes. State money was being used because that's never been against the law.
But wouldn't you say whether it's state money or federal money, it all comes from taxpayers?
No, there's a significant difference.
Explain to me the difference, please.
Yeah, so federal money is what's all pulled together from everywhere. Taxpayer money may not actually be from just like somebody's income tax because not all states have income tax, right? So it could be from what people just pay from their tolls. It could be what they pay in their sales tax. What am I missing going on?
Taxes.
Oh, Golden, thank you so much for sending out 5 memberships.
Okay, so we can move on. Okay, so here's an important one. Keeping men out of women's sports. Executive Order 14201.
Okay, well, simple answer. Men weren't in women's sports.
No, there was specifically biological males.
Biological just is biology is just the study of life. So all you're saying is just saying a living person was competing in sports. You don't have a gotcha with saying that.
No,
it's an
oxymoron.
oxymoron.
It's not a gotcha. It's
an
gotcha.
oxymoron. It's an incorrect
more like
verbiage.
Biological males shouldn't be competing against
So
females,
a live person
especially
shouldn't
in
be
boxing
competing. Got it.
Or
A live person. That's all you're saying. Biological is just the study of life. Like biology is literally just the study of life. You're not saying biological males doesn't mean anything. According to Donald Trump's executive order where he was declaring 2 genders, we're all women. We're all female according to his executive order.
Executive Order 14190. I know that when he said making
so
genders
that would
through
also
K through
invalidate the next one where you're talking about keeping men out of women's sports. Again, I would still caveat to say that there are no men competing in women's sports unless the sport is already considered what is it? What's the word? What's the word? Hold on. What's the word for if it's open gender? Like what are the what's the word for when to co-ed? Thank you guys, co-ed. Yeah, so unless we have co-ed sports, there's actually no men competing in women's sports.
You're awesome.
So Leah Phillips or Leah Thomas or whatever that girl's name is wasn't a male. The athletic swimmer who ended up breaking all the records and
she didn't break any records. She placed
sure
5th.
She broke all of her
She
school's
tied with
records
5th.
or something
She
like
didn't.
that.
No.
Hold on, let me Google it real quick. I know you love to Google things. Let me Google this real quick.
Oh, I like to fact check things. Again, guys,
Yeah, let
I
me
forget
fact check
how bad
Let
it
me
is to
check
fact
this.
check anything.
No, it's not bad at all. I'm doing it as well. What was last one male who broke records? Yeah, Leah Thomas, transgender swimmer from Pennsylvania, who became the first openly transgender woman to win an NCAA Division I national championship in 2022.
Yeah.
After starting her transition.
Correct. So transgender women, great. So again, I pause it to say again that there are no men competing in women's sports.
We're not going to get into this debate specifically. We can agree
This
to
isn't a
disagree.
debate at all, and there is no agreeing to disagree here. This is actually something that's been recognized for a long time. And all she did was win the 500-yard freestyle event. That was a one thing. Oh,
won.
you already said she. Don't turn around on it now. You already
No.
called her she multiple times. So now
Yes,
don't
out of
pull.
respect, but like I
So
said,
don't pull
biological
a
male is the
bigotry.
point.
No, it's not
the
a biological male.
is the
Again,
point.
that's
All
just
right,
a
so
study
would
of
you say-
life.
All right. So let's switch it, right? Let's switch it, logically speaking.
You,
Did you see
your
the
logic's already
Olympics?
failing.
Did you see the Olympics?
Oh,
where
who?
the two biological males ended up being the finalist of the female boxing division?
Oh, are you talking about Amani Keefe?
I believe so.
Khalif?
I believe so. Yes.
Are
Yes,
you aware?
yes, I
Do
believe
you
so.
do you remember what country she's from?
Not exactly. Not exactly. I don't
Argentina.
remember the specifics about
Do you know what
it.
the laws in Argentina are?
No, enlighten me.
Lala, get that Nolan comment, please. So in Argentina, it's actually illegal to be transgender in their country. It actually calls for the unalivement penalty if they're found out. Sorry, Algeria. Thank you guys. Algeria. My bad. Algeria, not Argentina. So she's from Algeria. Right? Her birth certificate shows that she was assigned female at birth. Okay? And also, fun fact, she gave birth to a daughter.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is why, guess what? She's suing everyone that made a claim that she was a man just because she happened to look masculine.
So this brings me to my next question. Would you be okay with a transgender woman fighting a natural-born woman?
My qualifications on a transgender man or woman competing in the gender sports that they align with, sorry, there's a bunch of words here to use, is that they have to be at least on HRT for 2 years. We already have scientific data and evidence that shows that a man transitioning, so a transgender woman, right, being on HRT decreases their muscle mass and their muscle density.
Yeah, but you could say even decreasing it wouldn't really make a difference.
It actually makes a
biologically
okay. I'm just going to be very clear with you something here. Biologically speaking is still just infactual for you to use in this argument. Again, biology is the study of life. So every time you just keep saying this, right? You're just saying of life, of life, of life, of life. But I'm just, it's not now. It has
male, females. There's
Nope.
XYXX.
Oh, have you ever had your karyotyping done?
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. You're not equipped to have this conversation. So let me be very clear with you something, okay? Very clear with something here.
Listen.
Chromosomes, there's over 37 different pairings of chromosomes. There are 37 potential that we're already aware of, right? And there's probably more since the last time I looked it up. But there are 37 different chromosomal matchings and pairings that are able to occur within the human genome. And so what you're referring to is karyotyping. So that's when you actually get tested to find out what your chromosomal makeup are. So when you're talking about XY, that's what you consider to be a male, correct?
Yes, I would be.
We have 6 instances in modern day science where an XY, 46 pure XY chromosomal matching, which is the purest form of being considered male, have given birth to children.
Okay.
And that's what you consider male, and this is science, sir.
So you're saying just females with more testosterone, per se?
No, this is somebody with 46 pure XY chromosome matching, so karyotyping. So that is actually 46 XY is the purest form of being what you would be considered male. But they still managed to give birth to children, at least 6 times in our modern day science that we're aware of. And I'm just talking about modern day being the last 20 years.
Sounds interesting. It sounds like a rarity. Doesn't sound like it.
Not that rare. Would you consider that any
something
person
that
that happens to have a different kind of chromosomal matching that's outside of XY and XX to be a rarity? Because again, this has all been happening for a long time.
So what would be the other qualities of XX, XY? What is it? YY?
Oh, so
YX?
dude, there's
What
so
would be
many.
the other pairs? I've never.
There
heard
are
of a single
so
other
many.
pair.
You have XYX,
Yeah, let's
you have
Google that too.
XXX, you have XYY, you have YXX. Like there's so many different ways to match. Again, there's over 37, right? Over 37. So what you're doing is you're confusing gender with sex. And we're also the only. It is. Yeah, we're also the only biological form of life on Earth that recognizes gender. Do you think that dogs call themselves girl and boy?
That would be impossible to say because that would be basically saying that all animals don't know who to mate with.
No, that's
All
because there's a
animals do
difference
pick
between sex and gender.
Between a male and a female.
No, it's because there's a difference between sex and gender that you're just not computing. So even when you're
No, I
again
get what you're
saying that, even again when you're saying things like biological male, you're still incorrect because that's not a thing, right? You can say assigned male at birth.
You could be a feminine male who cross dresses, but you'll not be a female.
You can be assigned male at birth, but gender is different than sex. And we have evidence that goes back eons for this. So, for example, we have the Jewish Talmud, right, which was written in the early hundreds, so before 600, right? Before the year 600 in the world, where they recognize that there are 6 different variations of genders. That has now been expanded to include an additional 2 variations where you include considering surgery as a way of transitioning. But we actually obtain our base word androgynous from the Jewish Talmud.
In the early 20s.
We actually obtained the word androgynous from the Jewish Talmud.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, actually, right? So, we know that you don't support Trump. You know I support Trump, right? So and I feel like I've been listening to a lot of your podcasts, and it's a lot of the same type of back and forth. You know, there's you disagreeing, there's someone disagreeing, there's no ever common ground. And I feel like
Oh, then you haven't been listening at all. Hey, Becca.
maybe I have.
Just like you
Or
can't
maybe I
even
just haven't
acknowledge
been
what I
catching
just
them
said and
parts
you're making
per
another
se.
pivot.
No, right? So no, I get what you're saying about that, but so do you think that you'll ever like everything about a single president?
No, of course not, because I don't follow people blindly.
Alright, so like I can name like 8 things I like about Trump, right? You would pick apart all 8 things, right? We could just skip fast forward, right? And all 8 things, they could be as logical as possible. You'll bring up your logical counter arguments. Then say this president's over, say Vance gets elected, this changes, you don't support Vance, blah, blah, blah. or you don't support AOC, blah blah blah, and it's gonna be the same exact thing, right? So I feel like let's have a common ground of what we disagree with. I feel like let's switch it up real quick, right? I'll tell you right now. Since you brought up the Jewish aspect, I single-handedly disagree with all politicians, but unblindly support for the state of Israel.
Cool.
Is that something you can agree with?
Yep.
See, we're finally getting somewhere. All right, name something that you saying maybe I'll agree with it. Oh.
Ukraine can keep all of their internationally recognized borders, aka their land.
Oh, I support that fully. Same way I support Palestine keeping all their borders completely full. It's the same exact situation, actually, when you really think about it, except one's on a mass scale of genocide and one's on a partial scale about to be genocide if an action doesn't happen. Fully support it. Honestly, even though Trump is doing kind of playing Russia's hands, which that's another thing I don't really agree with or disagree. Can you actually let me find out if you can tell me what is the United States' phobia of Russia from basically after World War II on? Communism? Is it communism?
No, because they're not communists.
Yeah, but I remember it was like the Red Menace per se, or the Red Army, which was I think the Soviets or USSR or something of that nature.
So, can you tell me what was happening between 1945 and 1991?
Ooh, that was the Cold War. That was the Cold War.
Maybe you need to go back to that education.
Well, see, I know it kind of, sort of. See, the Cold War was basically a lot about
I think he is
United
Andrea.
States. The United States is.
I gotta be honest with you. You've just bored the ever living daylights out of me. So have a good night. Anyways, let me get through these. Thank you, Paul, for sending out a gifted membership. I do so appreciate you. I'm gonna move on to another caller in a moment. Political service should be like jury duty. Okay. So it's just called upon randomly. I don't think I necessarily agree with that one, Weaver. Just because I don't want to call upon random people to serve in a political office. I'm sorry. But I understand your original premise there. As an Australian, just happened to see this channel pop up. Claiming someone isn't pro-life because kids don't get free lunch is crazy. No, the idea of... If you don't support children after they're born, then you're not pro-life. That is my argument against individuals that consider themselves to be pro-life. So when you say that you're against kids being able to eat or obtaining free school lunch, then you are not pro-life. If you are not okay with giving all children up to the age of 18 free medical insurance, then you are not pro-life. Why? Because we should be here to support the children. Thank you, Dawn, for extending your subscription. But instead, we're not doing that. And that's the point I'm trying to make. If we're not supporting the next generation of children, or you don't supporting the next generation, then you're not pro-life. If you are for the death penalty, then you are not pro-life. You see, you would have to be in support of every instance of life to make the claim that you are pro-life. Also, let's see. TikTok, we should be at 125,000 likes in the next 3 minutes. You guys can get there. It's just, you guys don't understand that pro-life means that you're pro-life in every single instance, which they are not. And you would, again, support someone especially children, all the way up to the age of 18. If you were really pro-life and not just care about the fetus in the womb. Need a lot more than that for it. Yes, actually, Whitney is 100% correct. $5 isn't enough because of the pink tax. Yeah, it's literally just... Hey, Parkers, I hope you're in the chat. Yeah, you can't buy a box of tampons. And thank you again, Golden, so much for sending out 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you so much for that. I do. We've met the goal. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Angela, for the $1. Trump stopped men from competing against women, but not those born male having transitioned. I don't really understand this one, if I'm being honest. Alright, and thank you, Danny, for the 100. And you know what, Tree? I do my best. I can't say that I am always making a difference, but I do my best here. So I do appreciate the 2. I know, right? Miss, I know. It's insane. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Awesome.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, how old are you?
24.
Okay,
I called earlier.
You
Got
did?
Disconnected.
Oh. Okay.
It's alright. Oh, it's alright.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes,
You still support him?
of course.
And thank you, Danny, for the 2. Why do you still support Trump?
I feel like we should all support our president, commander-in-chief.
No, I disagree. I think that the most American thing that anyone can do is be critical of the government.
Oh, I'm definitely critical.
Well, then you wouldn't be saying to blindly support the president of the United
I'm
States.
mad at him. I told you earlier, I'm mad at him for the Epstein stuff, but truthfully, I don't think that Kamala would have been any better.
I'm not here to relitigate the results of the election.
Well, I'm just trying to talk. You asked about Trump.
I ask why you still actively support him, not why you voted for him.
Oh, I guess if you want like reasons, it's I like his
Hey,
stance
incognito.
on immigration. Immigration, tax bracket stuff, and
Tax bracket stuff?
in general, like everything changed when he became president again. You know, Twitter became free. Everything became free. We can talk how we feel.
Well, you can talk how you feel. So you just wanted the... What were you afraid to say that you can now say?
Say anything. It's completely changed. We can actually talk freely again.
What
Our
can you
country's
say
back.
now that you were
We're
afraid
back.
to say before?
Well, you know, if you just talk about any Democrat, any position they have, it gets censored.
No,
I'm
you've
not- I
always
don't
been able
say-
to do that. So, can you? You're just talking about your freedom of speech?
Yes.
What
Well,
are the
yeah.
What are the first 5 words of the First Amendment?
Of the First Amendment?
Yep.
Freedom of the press, freedom of religion.
Nope. First 5 words of the First Amendment.
All right, fancy pants. You got Google right next to you. I get it. But
Don't even have it open.
okay, good for you. I know what the First Amendment means.
Okay, then who has the ability to restrict? Who is denied the ability to restrict your First Amendment?
No one.
Incorrect.
We're back.
Still incorrect.
We are back, and we are
Still
sick of it.
incorrect.
We are back. The red wave is back, baby.
All right, well, you continue to drink that red Kool-Aid then. That was a useless part of my time. Thank you, Danny, again for the $2. Is worthless. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, how old are you?
25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Nope, I don't vote.
All right, man. Have a good night. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
18.
I no longer speak to 18-year-olds. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
What year were you born?
I was born in 1999.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
How old
Hello?
are you?
19, born 2004.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Well, not at the time, but my parents did, and I supported them then.
All right. Well, I talked to voters who still support Trump and support their vote. So have a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? I'm lost? Sorry, Danny. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I am 23, almost 24 years of age.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did not vote, and this is not about Trump. So, can I stay on the call?
Nope. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
How old are you?
You're 21.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Do you still support him?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
I was born in 2002.
Why do you still support Trump?
I support his immigration policy.
Okay, like what specifically?
Well, the fact that we're actually deporting people and we're not letting them stay in the country illegally.
We've always been deporting people, sir.
We
Biden
really
deported
haven't.
3 million people.
And he let 10 million in.
Based off, where do you get that number from?
So if he deported 3 million people, then why do we have so many illegals in the country right now?
Where do you get 10 million from?
10 million was a random guess. That was just because that's the total number that they estimate. Starting in the Trump presidency.
Who estimates?
I don't know. I just heard it somewhere. But like,
Gotcha.
how much do you think are in the country? Because it's not a small number.
Based off of the report that is consistently released by DHS. It was even released under Trump's first presidency, okay, in 2018. Based off of the number that was deported and then the actual estimated numbers that came in unawares, like with the United States being unawares, that being about I believe it's 1.6 million. That's the actual estimate according to Pew, according to data pulled from CBP that was used by Pew Research Center. It's only going to be around 10 million, and the majority of those individuals have been here since the 1980s.
Wait, so, sorry, what methods did they use to calculate the amount?
Yeah.
Of illegals?
So the Department of Homeland Security released a report in April of 2024, where at that time they estimated that the total number of illegal immigrants within the country, or undocumented immigrants, was 11.6 million.
Okay.
And that, again, that was over the last 40 years. And out of that 11.6, 79% of them came in prior to 2010. They sourced their data based off of their own prior research that they performed and reports that they had put out. It's also based off of not only the federal census, but individual state census data. The census data that are actually census pulled between the 10-year mark, because we all know that, like, the major census is pulled every 10 years. But they have varying levels for where they pulled it from. Now, for the exact ones, I can go ahead and pull it up, and let's see. There we go. That's the correct one. And let's go all the way down to the bottom. So their references are going to be 94 census, the National Center for Health Statistics, the Center for Disease Control. Again, the report that was put out under Donald Trump's presidency for fiscal year, like specifically for 2017 through 2019. So from DHS, another report from DHS during Trump's presidency. This one is the U.S. Census Bureau from 2021. We have PLOS 1 from 2018. Homeland Security statistics data from 2023. We have Pew Research Center, again, the U.S. Census Bureau 2011. We have the Department of Homeland Security in 2003, which again is under a Republican president. And let's see, Center for Migration Studies 2024. And these are all references that have been previously used by the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay. Well, still, though, I think I still can maintain that the policy is better, because to aggressively try to get an issue under control, like he is doing, is better than the more lax approach that these other presidents have taken that clearly have not gotten the issue under control, being that we can still see.
Well, if I would actually posit to say that the issue has never been under control, sir, considering that there was, again, according to the Department of Homeland Security's own research and statistics and studies that they put out, again, consistently, they put out these reports about once a year. The full comprehensive report is about every 4 years. So, again, considering there was 11.6 million estimated in April of 2024, that mean, and this was actually, sorry, it was 11 million in 2024. They are estimating that probably another 600,000 came in between those times. But again, so the number is actually down from when Donald Trump left office. It was, that's what it was. It was 11.6 when Donald Trump left office, and it ended up being 11 million by the time the report was actually done. Got it. I was trying to remember where I was getting those numbers mixed up. Thank you, page 3. So, it's never been under control, because they've been putting out these reports consistently, and since we still have 11 million immigrants in this country, that means and these are undocumented immigrants, it's never been under control. It's always been an issue.
I know that they've always been an issue. They've never been under control, but the thing that I'm saying is that Trump's actually aggressively trying to get them under control. So it's a big difference from, right, the attempt to get something under control far better versus...
Far better?
Yeah, if we reduce the number of immigrants in the country, that would be better, yeah.
No, I disagree. I think that immigration is an integral part of our system that we have.
Sorry, I do have to walk that back. I wasn't specific. I mean illegal immigration, not immigration.
Oh, okay. So you just want us deporting illegal immigrants?
Yes, I want us deporting illegal immigrants as well as we can.
Okay. So, no, I don't disagree. But I also support amnesty. So I believe in that allowing individuals that have been here for 5 or more years, because at this point they've established roots, they've established a life here in the United States. I believe that they should be granted amnesty and put back on a pathway to citizenship because, again, I believe that immigration is important in the country. Now, this doesn't apply to anybody that has broken the laws. If they've broken the laws since they've entered into the country, then I absolutely believe that they should be deported after serving any potential jail time that they would need to. But no, in general, as for anybody that hasn't committed a crime since they entered the country, I believe that they should get amnesty and then be set on a pathway to citizenship. But I believe that they should actively pursue citizenship or become a documented legal resident.
I'm just wondering, you were phrasing it, post coming into this country, crime, right? The action of coming into the country illegally is a crime. Should we not?
It's a misdemeanor.
Pursue people under the law based on that?
Well, according to Arizona v. United States 2012, it's actually individuals that came in through the border through a non-port of entry are not considered criminals.
Sorry, what? If you
according to Arizona v. United States Supreme Court case 2012, coming through the border through or crossing into the country through a non-port of entry, so therefore an unauthorized crossing, does not make somebody a criminal.
That's not a crime?
Does not make somebody a criminal.
Is that including if they get a visa and overstay it?
No, that's even still that's just an infraction. That's not a crime either to overstay your visa.
So then why are they deporting people if it's not a crime?
Why? Because just because it's not allowed doesn't make it a crime. Are you allowed to scream at your boss at work without any repercussions?
No.
Okay, so it's similar to that.
But it's not criminal, but
it's not criminal,
not governmentally. No. But that's not criminally prosecuted. That's not a criminal. Sorry, that's not a government thing. If you yell at your boss.
No, I was just giving you an example.
By the government.
It's similar enough with the visa process. So it's just an infraction. It's not actually a crime. There is no punishable offense for overstaying your visa unless you've also committed a crime.
Okay, so, sorry, I'm just going to, there's one specific argument that I have here that's, so if someone comes into the country
I can't hear
illegally,
you.
Right? And then, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So if someone comes into the country illegally.
You sound underwater again.
I might need to switch my AirPods or something.
No, that shouldn't be it. Normally AirPods are really great.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Does it sound any better now?
Yes, it seems like every time you start, for some reason, it starts to sound like you're underwater, and I'm not sure. It sounds like you walked away. So your AirPods might be losing their battery, and I don't know if that affects the quality, but just try to make your argument. Hopefully it doesn't cut out again.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So if a person is here illegally, whether or not they've committed a crime, they will get deported if they get reported to the authorities. If you have illegals coming into the country, right, they're going to work a job, they have no human rights or ability to petition or not petition. They can't ask for a raise necessarily, because the people who are the people at the job, they could just report you to the cops, right? So you don't have any security or agency in where you work or anything. Not where you work, but you have very little agency compared to a U.S. citizen. So we can't keep them here. They still they have to go.
Because they can't ask for a raise at their job?
Well, no. It's the fact that they have no protection under the law against against, sorry, I don't know how to describe it, against
They're not
their
covered by
employer, right?
EEOC, you mean?
Sorry, what is that?
Equal employment opportunity?
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't be covered under the EEOC if they're not here
Yeah.
under legal status.
Well, so my argument is strictly we have to deport them because otherwise we either keep them and give them the protections, or they don't have protections and they're effectively slave labor, and they might be paying taxes too. That's just decreasing the amount of money they can take in. And right, it's like we can't just abuse someone because they come into the country illegally. We have to get rid of them. And Trump's like aggressively working on that.
Yeah, through
get them all out.
inhumane efforts. Have you not seen the video of a pregnant woman being dragged to a vehicle? A pregnant woman, 9-month-along pregnant woman being dragged to the back of a deportation vehicle while everyone is trying to tell the ICE officials that she's actively pregnant, but they still tackled her to the ground, which puts the pregnancy at risk of her giving birth like prematurely, right? Because even 9 months is still technically premature unless you're at the full 40 weeks. You haven't seen the video of her being dragged to the ground? Or have you heard
No,
about
but-
the ICE agents that have broken an older man's ankle after they broke into his house without a search warrant? How about ICE agents going into a woman's home while she's in the shower without a warrant to look for her husband? And she was literally in the shower, and they had to monitor her while she got dressed. And she's a legal citizen, by the way. How about them detaining somebody for just making a motion? A United States citizen, right, that they actually detained and took to a center for just making a motion like they threw a water bottle at them, but the water bottle never left their hand after, they tackled him to the ground for being on video. How about them stopping and knocking a 15-year-old boy off his bicycle in order to then put him in the back of their car, and they left the bicycle there for someone to steal at any point for the mother to find and realize that her child is gone? How about them going in front of a school to try to arrest a disabled, a mentally handicapped individual, right? A 15-year-old boy in front of a school, in front of his classmates, and him not understanding what was going on. How about them taking 6-year-old children away from their parents because they picked them up on the way home from school, or walking outside of school because the parents weren't there immediately, but ICE picks them up anyways? So you're in favor of deporting illegal immigrants for their safety because of potential human work violations, right? Working violations, right? That employers can do. I'm for criminalizing the act that the employers are taking if that is the case. But you're in support of the inhumane acts and practices that are actively being carried out by ICE agents across this country. You're okay with people going to their hearings and then literally going through the legal steps, the legal process of being a documented immigrant to be on the pathway to citizenship, going to their court hearings or on their way home from their court hearings, being picked up?
On that one, yes, but the other ones, I honestly didn't know about.
Oh, these are just ones that I was reading about today. Okay? These are just things that I just heard about today. This is nothing new. This has been happening since the start of these practices within the United States. But you specifically said that you wanted to get out illegal immigrants. Now, this last one that I pointed out that you said you're in favor of are individuals that are documented and have legal status to be within the United States, continuing through their proper channels that are being picked up by ICE to be deported.
I thought you said that they were undocumented and that they were trying to go to their court date.
Nope.
Okay.
These
sorry.
are people trying to do
I take
things
that
the
back.
right way. that he's picking up. Because unfortunately, Donald Trump can't find, right, and unfortunately for your argument at least, Donald Trump can't find all of the illegal immigrants that are within the country because they are unknown. They are not here. They are here, but we don't know where they're at. So instead, they're going after individuals that have legal status because we know where they're at. And then trying to strip them of their legal status in order to remove them from this country. They're actively trying to remove additional status now of visa holders, which again is a legal process.
How much is that happening? Because I don't, clearly the news
They've already
is not
revoked
on the same level that I'm hearing as you're hearing.
Don't know where you're listening, but that's not any judgment on that one. I just don't know where you're listening. They've already revoked legal status of asylum seekers, TPS holders, and refugee seekers, 530,000 of them. They're currently actively reviewing. I don't want to overstate it, so I'm just going to go with the conservative number. About 250,000 visa holders within the United States. I actually think it's more. I think it's like 50. Let me actually look that up. Hold on. Is it this many? Yeah, that was actually the one. Yeah. AP, yeah, this is actually Al Jazeera, AP News. It's even on New York Post, The Guardian, Washington Post, all of the sites. Trump administration is now looking to review all 55 million foreigners with U.S. visas in order to deport them, to search for any potential violations, including a clerical error. Again, because he can't find all of the illegal immigrants, he's trying to make sure he's meeting a number, an arbitrary number, to tell everybody that he's met this goal in order to deport them.
Wait, how many illegal immigrants, undocumented illegal immigrants, has you deported, just as a comparable number so that we have?
Oh, that's going to be hard to know because I'm pretty sure, depending on how this is typed into Google, and since Donald Trump claims every single person that he's deported is illegal, which is incorrect. How many? That's not what I wanted. Okay.
No, I get that those numbers are unsettling. I'm just trying to figure out comparably,
Yeah, it's just, Trump administration has claimed that around 140,000 people have been deported as of April of 25. Kristi Noem claims that they've deported 1.6 million illegal immigrants. But again, I'm not going to agree with that number because, as we already know, they're pulling legal status. They're also, she's also including people that have reportedly self-deported. That's why I'm saying it's so hard to really find out that number. Maybe this one. This is just alleged, so this is still. And this is just recorded as closing cases. That's not anything about actual deportation. Dun, dun. Yeah, I was just talking about how many court cases.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that you can't, like, I know that it doesn't mean anything, but the fact that you can't find the statistic on the other side.
No, it's just that there isn't a
little.
single publicly confirmed figure. Because there are so many contradictory statements. And again, Donald Trump and his administration already revoked the status of 530,000 legal immigrants that were under a protected status in order to make them deportable. So, and then that way he can then go through and claim that these were illegal immigrants, and he's including those individuals in with that number. And then again, Kristi Noem is also including people that voluntarily left the country. That 1.6 million that, and she acknowledges that herself. Even she doesn't have a number of people.
I get that that's not like a robust statistic, but what I'm like really wondering is, well, actually, for the 530,000, did you say, for those people, what was the actual conditions for revoking their visas? And
Oh, this wasn't
otherwise-
for visa holders. This was people that were here under asylum, refugee,
Okay.
and temporary protected status. And it was just based off of what country of origin they were from.
it was revoked based on country of origin.
Correct.
And you're really making this a bad case for me. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say to this. If you want to move on to the next person, or if you want to go to a different topic, I'd like.
I mean, this is
damning.
actually, listen, I can appreciate that. This is actually like the end. I'm 15 minutes over my time that I normally go on for. But so, like, honestly, I just encourage you to look things up. This is me, guys. This is me totally trying to get endorsed or sponsored or something by Ground News. I'm gonna remind everybody, there's a great resource out there. It's called Ground News. What Ground News does is it will give you news alerts, and you can even check the immediate bias status of each one and the factuality level of each article. So if you go through and watch the playback, you guys can just pull it up, and then it gives you how many right-wing news sources are reporting this, how many central news sources, and then how many left-wing news sources are telling you what it is. And then if you click on one, it even will tell you at the bottom what their factuality rating is. So like the first one that comes up is mixed factuality, highly factual, mixed factuality. It'll even tell you if it's a national resource, so like from the United States, or international. And Cheese wants to let you know that they're proud of you, and from the Red app chat, because TikTok is sensitive. But I definitely encourage everybody to download Ground News if you can afford the monthly subscription. I think it's like $10. I paid for like the year plan, so I don't know how much it is anymore.
Okay. Well,
That'd be the best way, and then you
is that
can,
it?
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good night. Ground News for the win, guys. Like, legitimately. I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't get asked that question. Okay. Yeah, I do appreciate that last caller. That was... I'd rather have civil conversations with people. I don't really enjoy yelling at people. I don't enjoy feeling like I have to laugh at somebody. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. I like being amused. So I like laughing at people. When somebody gives me a reason to laugh or like sit back and have that big grin on my face, no, actually, that is amusing. I take that back. I take that back, absolutely. But I don't like arguing with people. I don't like having to be like, oh, I can't hear you anymore because you're just over-talking me. It gets really annoying when people are just constantly over-talking me, which is why I just do the same to them. I'm like, okay, you're going to over-talk me. I'm going to monologue over you. It's okay. Oh, thanks, EXO. I appreciate that. TikTok? TikTok, go ahead and clear off this live goal if you can real quick, but I'll be right back. 1 second. Gonna mute. All right. I appreciate everyone on Twitch and YouTube. It is harder to keep up with your chats. So for who exactly had asked me? Sorry. Somebody had asked me Looper. I do read the chat. It is just hard because I have the chats combined with the YouTube chat, and the YouTube chat moves faster. So there is that. But I do actually read the chat. It's just a little bit harder for me to do so. But I appreciate you guys on both Twitch And on YouTube, I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate the new members so much, guys. This just encourages me to continue to do this every day. And like I said, it just does mean a lot to me. It means so much to me. You guys don't even know to have your support to continue to do this. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button up at the top. And don't forget to turn on your notifications after you hit subscribe. That way you know when I go live. I will not be live tomorrow, just as a heads up. Thank you, No Name, for telling Parker's goodnight. I really appreciate that, guys. I will not be live tomorrow, but I'll be live around like noon Eastern time on Saturday. So be aware. I already know about what time. So noon Eastern time on Saturday, I will be live. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you on Saturday.